I did not notice how quick that went. I forgot that the intro for this one's like only 2 minutes compared to three on the other one. I need to design new intros at some point. I only have two, but I need to get on that. Let me get that music going. Wow, look at that. And let me get the code going. Look at that. Wow. That's insane. All right. So we have code, we have music, we have me, and we have Discord. Wow, look at that. So in this poll commands channel, which is kind of confidential, I have like polls in there and stuff. So I can't go there, sadly. But I had this in there. I decided to move it over. It's basically an idea list or a to-do list, somewhat. And what it is that, hello, bruh. Forgot I had light mode on. OBS Live always likes putting the chat on light mode, which is the most horrible thing. And I always have to manually switch it every single time I boot OBS. It's painful, but anyways, let me move this over. It'll resize a little bit as I move it, but this is the to-do list. And what I got here is that I was going to, list all the things that I've done and are going to do. So we did the backup polls, we did a help command, we did a timestamp and flash config. We also did multiple choice and would you rather polls, which I actually did off stream, sorry. But yeah, I'm glad you're here, bruh. I kind of just took a break for a little bit. I just kind of pursued a little bit of side projects, which is why there hasn't been a stream for a good few days. And yesterday I was working, so But before then, I had a sick new website thing. Let me see if I can pull that up. Opera. There we go. Wow, Cicadia.dev. So I had a new project. Eevee's the bot, which goes to the bot link. Wow, look at that. I hate the light mode though. And I was working on this, which was a space image generator. So you might notice, like, in the background of my about pages and everything, and I mean in the background of space, the background right here, this background is all generated by guy www Tyro. If I can type his name and a third W. I don't know who those people are. And he's got some stuff, and one of these things is Space 2D. And look at that, wow. They look beautiful, right? So, I've been using this just without the sun, stars. I've just been using like this. Generating some images, they look nice. Wow, look at that, beautiful colors. But the issue that I have with this is that it has no, like, options. There's 0 options for this website. You can change the width and height, but that's like, that's it. You could disable and enable things, but bruh, that doesn't do anything. I didn't mean you, bruh, just bruh in general. So I made my own. I decided, you know what? I looked at the code, I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna be able to understand this. So I made my own. So you got some parameters here which you can change the density of the stars in the background, render them down, have colors of nebula, you can just remove them completely, have 3 of them if you really want, and you can change all the colors of them if you really want. I don't know, a dark green maybe. See what that looks like. Yeah, there you go. And usually it's only good with 2. 2 is like a nice color swap. And then you can change the scale, which I don't know why I have it scale up to 2000, but whatever. Change it, have it look like that, have it completely like that. Yeah, so basically that's what I was doing for the past few days. Just a fun project. I'm able to generate some nice images now. I haven't used it yet very much because I kind of want to fix the depth. Because the problem here is that the depth should add like more swirls and like layers to it, right? But right now, if you add more depth, it gets less and less detailed. Like now it's all blobs and it's only depth 4. And if you go backwards, depth 1, that works, but depth 0 also blobs. So only like depth 1 and 2 are like usable in any capacity, which is weird. Shouldn't be like that, but whatever. So I need to fix that somehow. I don't know. But you know, you got some other settings, fall off. I basically just wanted the extra settings so I can actually like customize the images, customize the nebula colors. Like if I was looking for a cyan nebula, just a cyan one though, I could do that. And then I can randomize the seed and be like, okay, that one, that one looks cool. And then, you know, play with the values to make it super duper cool. But that's what I was doing, sorry. I like showing stuff off because I'm proud of it. Look at this beautiful work of art. Code is based off this guy though. So I didn't make the, you know, nebula generator thing, except I kind of did. It just doesn't work like his, which is it's weird. I kind of like copied it and then like added my own parameters and everything, but it just doesn't look like this. This looks like a cloud. This looks like, you know, weird swirls, right? So I don't know. Anyways, let's go away from that. It's completely like not what we're supposed to be doing. Let me minimize that. So we have this. We have our commands. Let me run the bot real quick so we can get a like state of the game sort of stuff. So bots up, type /help. I removed the server commands, so that's not like duplicating anymore. Because you remember last time it was like /help. Like, okay, come on now. That was because there's guild commands and server commands. And they were both the exact same, so I don't know, it's weird. But we got this going. Here's the current Discord-wide poll ending in 21 hours. We have some commands. And we have config. Switch pages. Actually, no, we can't. I wonder why. What was the error for that? Invalid form body. This field is required. Oh, it's because I clicked 2. 2, if you remember from last time, we didn't actually code 2. 2 is the break the bot button. If you click around 2 though, wow, look at that. It's beautiful. Manage server, you got some hours. You got some of this. You got some of that. Just don't click 2, okay? Whatever you do. Alright? So just don't do that. But what you can do is, I don't know, what can you do? Where am I? I'm on config, and I was looking at this. This is the role ping page. This is 2. You don't want to click 2. 2 is scary. But we were trying to add the roles because we need like a text input for a role ID. That is kind of iffy, like yucky, right? Because then you have to teach the user how to get a role ID, which is what I actually do currently. I have a GIF of just me copying a role ID. So you kind of have to teach the user. It's not very user-friendly is what I'm saying. So I wanted to try this. I wanted to try getting this down so we can actually just have a list of roles. But as you can see, if I run this again and we go to our Discord, we open Discord /config, just didn't work. It would error again. But have the error that the range error. take a look at this. We have a select option label error, a range error for that, which I assume that means we have way too many, even though it's only 25 and that's the maximum, isn't it? Okay, let me change it off screen a little bit. I'm gonna decrease it by 1 and then restart it, and then let's run it. Command prompt's actually in a pretty good location, so I could keep that open, just run in the background. /config 2, and we get range error still. So I don't know. It's weird. It's yucky, dumb, but it's doable. There should be a way to do this. I just haven't figured it out yet. So what we're trying to do at the moment is that we're trying to just get the roles of the guild and then add the option, but it just doesn't do that. Let role equal guild roles, and then role.name, role.id. What I'm noticing is that they're all the same label. We're not actually using I in any capacity, which is dumb. 1 second. Stand by. And then we're also grabbing this multiple times for no reason. Just go away. All right. So we took that away. We're going back to config. Like that. There we go. /config 2. Oh, imagine if it worked though. Ooh. Okay. Well, what's the error now? We have an error saying cannot read property name of undefined at line 94. So let's double check that. Line 94 is here. Cannot read name of undefined. So role I does not exist. Why? Well, let's console.log the roles. Also, this is a singular role. I don't know why. It's roles. Correct? Roles. All right. Console.log role. Let's see what that gives us. I'm just going to open the command prompt and do it off screen because it's the same exact thing. Just pressing 2. Let's see. Console.log role. We get a role manager. And then we get the guild. Commands, members, roles. Really? Do we need to wait it? I assume not. Let's check the good old wiki. We always look at the wiki. Let's look at the wiki. Wow, look at that beautiful page. Let's go to look at that cat. Let's go to Discord.js, I think it is. Yeah, something like that. Documentation. And then it's role manager. Guild role manager. That's what we're getting. Maybe. Role manager. Hello? Okay, I guess not. So we got a role manager from it. So then we have to role manager.cache. Okay, it might just be role manager.cache. That's I don't know why it's behind a cache, but all right. Sure. Let's do that real quick. Code roles.cache. Ooh. All right. Rerun the bot. Let's go to Discord. Imagine it works though. Ooh, that'd be nice. Please. Okay, no. But it's also the same exact error, which is mighty unfortunate. But we're getting the cache. So this is a really long print. Damn. My God. Well, these are all roles, I believe. I think. Yeah. Okay, so we actually did get a ton of roles in here. If I could scroll up through them. Audio.dev/hub. That's a name. That's a role name? No, that's a server name. Sorry. The role name should be like down here. Extended supporter. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god, such a long. Okay, it's a map of roles. Oh, but it's not a array of roles. It's a map, which means you need the key for each role, which means that means you have to do even more extra hoops to jump through, you know? Damn, this music's bopping. All right, hold on. let's get this out of the way. So, it's a map. So, we can't just iterate it like an array. We have to actually get the roles dot keys? I don't know. JavaScript wiki, please, can you help us? JavaScript, JS, coming to terms. That was an assignment we had for our diversity course in college. JS, what am I looking for? Just collection. That's not. This is not JavaScript. Damn it. Come on, JavaScript collection. I don't want whatever that is. Map and set keyed collections. There we go. So, what do we have here? How do we get the keys? Keys? JavaScript. I mean, this is a guide, but this isn't map object. Map. Okay. Is this the correct thing? Is this what we need? I'm looking for. Okay, yeah, it is. I'm looking for, you know, like the operators you use on it. So we can use .keys to get the keys of everything in an array, I believe. Right? Right? I think so. I think it's an array, at least. I hope it is. That's my understanding of everything as I know it is false, but you know, let's type that in. Keys, and then I. So from roles, we need the keys, and then use that key on roles to get the name and ID, which is big dumb, but you know, sure. Roles like that? No, like that. Okay. And then that should supposedly work, as I always say. But let me guess, it's not gonna work for some reason. I don't know what reason, but it's not gonna work for some reason. Let's see. An error occurred. Let's see what that error is. It is still cannot read property or name of undefined. Oh. Let's take a different approach then. So, the problem we're still having here is that we have roles. We're printing roles, and we're seeing, you know, that list of roles and everything, and they're assigned to like an ID. The issue is that we're not grabbing anything here. So apparently whatever we're grabbing here just doesn't exist. So it just returns null, and then we get the error. So another thing we could do is that we could do roles dot for every. Damn, I'll have to look it up. Let's go to the wiki again. There is a method for this. I know it. It's map something. Entries, values, set. Is that literally it? Is that it? Man. Oh, dot values though. Returns an iterator that contains the values for each element. In insertion error. Okay, this is actually what we need. We don't need the keys, we need the value. So let's just bypass all of that. instead of a role manager, let's get a good old dot values. And then it should just work with I. So, supposedly, this should get all the values, which are, you know, the data for the roles, and then it should get the name and ID, because those are the data values. The keys were just the role IDs. So, I reran the bot. We're going to reopen Discord. I'm going to redo the config command. And we're going to get the same exact error. Well, what did it print? It's still printing everything that we need. Just, why is it not working? Map iterator, role. Map iterator. Map iterator. That's not an array, though. The world's a map iterator. I don't... It would just be, you know, like a regular bracket. This is a curly bracket. That kind of means that there's keys and values. It should be a regular bracket, like right there, but it isn't. So it's saying that's a map iterator. I have no clue what in the world that is. I didn't know we'd return something not an array, because that's what it should be, right? Map iterator? Map iterator. This is a weird iterator. Okay, hold on. It should tell us what returns. Returns a new iterator object that contains the values. Okay, what's an iterator object? Iterator object. No, just iterator. Sure. Okay, so is an object that defines a sequence and potentially a return value upon its termination. Okay, damn. All right. Specifically, an iterator object implements the iterator protocol by having a next method. Okay. Dot next. How are we using that? Dot next. Let result equal it dot next, and then it just goes through. I can't use it as an array for some godforsaken reason, but I guess sure. You know what? Can we just JavaScript map iterator to array? Please. You're looking for the new array.from function, which converts arbitrary iterables to array instances. Array.from. Okay. Sure. I hope that works. It's gonna be the 5th thing we tried, I think. Let's see. So, array.from that stuff, alright? Okay? Let's run it again. See what happens. Errors. Same exact error, but. Command prompt. See that regular bracket? That does mean that it did return an array. I don't know why it didn't return name though, because we have a name. For example, this name is Pro Supporter. We have a name here, but it's weird. It's a role. It's a list of roles, or an array of roles. Scroll up all the way to the top. Maybe. There it is. Okay. This is an array, but we can't iterate that array? Why does roles I not exist? Let's look at the code. Okay. So this is an array. Arrays have values, right? values that can be accessed by a number that starts at 0. So roles 0 should return a role, and then we should be getting the name from that role. But it doesn't do that. So let's see. Does roles 0 actually return anything? Let's just console.log roles 0. I'm going to open the command prompt. I'm going to do it off screen. /config 2. Role. Guild. Yep. All that. Name. At everyone. Oh, you can actually ping at everyone. That's interesting. But it returns a role, and to get the name of that role, you just do that, right? So let's hear me out. Let's change the code to do .name. And I swear to God, if it returns the name but it doesn't work here, oh, that's gonna be. I'm gonna be mad, but not really. I don't know. I don't know why it wouldn't work though. Let's see. So I have command prompt open. I'm gonna do it again. /config. Press the 2 button. At everyone. That's the name. That's the name that we need. Why is it not using it in the label? Oh my gosh. Okay. Cannot read property name of undefined. Oh, wait a second. Oh, wait a second. I know the issue. So, we don't actually have a check for if it exists or not. So right now, we're just getting the first 25 roles. My server only has about 14 roles. So after the 14th role, it's actually grabbing nothing. That is a very simple solution to a very infuriating problem. Okay, I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier. So if roles.i, so if it exists in any capacity, then we add it. Otherwise, just don't do anything. I mean, we could also just break so it doesn't loop the other times, but there we go. So let's go to Discord for hopefully the final time. /config 2. Placeholder's wrong. But look at that. Wow. We got a bunch of roles. All of my roles, but it's also in a random order. But it's the names of the roles. I mean, it works, right? It's just, or is it from bottom to top? No. .dev is the top role, yet it is down there for some reason. Let's just look at the roles real quick. So it should go like community to everyone votes to twitch.tv, but it is just giving us a random list of things, except that everyone's always in the beginning. So how would we get it to return the order of them? We could get the roles and then like compare them to the actual order. Actually, I don't know how we get the actual order of roles. I mean, we got a working thing though. That's nice. We can go back, we could go through. This page doesn't break anymore. But also this disclaimer hasn't been updated at all. But and the placeholder. Before I forget, let's just change the placeholder because those visual things, they kind of bother me. So placeholder. Set placeholder 0 hours. No. We're gonna set it to role ID? Role ID, I think? No, role ping. I guess. Well, you wouldn't want it to show the ID though. Then again, would it ping? I assume it wouldn't work in a placeholder text, because right now it is just showing the ping So if I were to actually change it to a value, it would supposedly just show like a ping, which would have the name of it in it, but obviously I don't think that'd work in a placeholder. So to combat that, we need to check if there's a role value, and we need to check what that role name is. Kind of like what we're doing here, except we need to grab the role ID or get the role itself. So this is the wrong page. What am I doing here? Hold on, let's move away from this. We're down here. This is the same exact thing. That's why I got confused. All right. So we have, well, let's copy and paste real quick. We have our role ping. Paste that in here. That'll give us an ID. Let's actually just look and see if it does do the thing. Also, we do not need this console.log anymore. Let's get rid of that. I say that because there's just a bunch of @everyone's above right here, and just 3 of them. I don't know. But, close that. Discord. Let's see what actually happens. Config, go to 2. If it actually loads? Hello? 2? 1? Did I break this config? Hold on, the config. Interaction fit. The bot is running, but it's not. I wonder why. Unknown interaction. Oh. Oh, it errored. I was actually looking at the wrong part of the code. Unknown interaction. And that happened at... where? Happened in interaction create config 128. Let's double check. See why that happened. 128. 128? In config? 128 is just an else. Or did it mean 27? 27 is also pointless. I don't know what happened there. let's rerun the bot and see if it actually just works again. I hope it does. /config 2. It just works. All right, so none, which is true. Let's see if we can switch it to daily pull bot. Oh, pull send time just turned into a decimal. What in the world? Oh, I think because I changed it. We didn't actually change the role ping. We actually changed the pull send time to an ID. So it's like going crazy right now. It's like, what in the world? To the power of 21. Okay. Just calm down. We're not going to have that. We're going to move away from that. Let's actually save the data we need. Role ping. Time select. This is not time select. This is actually role select. Let's just do ping select. Ping select. Down here, we need to have a option for that. Pull time. Indent. We're gonna have a ping select menu. And if it's ping select, then if the role ID does not equal the thing that got sent, then change the option and then set pull. Not just don't even set pull anything. Set pull. Sorry, set role ID. Geez, to that, and then get rid of that because that's not anything for that. So I might have screwed up. Or wait, no, I didn't screw it up. Because look at this. Let's not save our changes. Changes were not saved. Good. Because we would have corrupted all of our data. So, good thing that we have a confirm save options thing. So, if we rerun it, it's all the same. It didn't break. We could cancel it and be like, okay, cool. So, let's rerun the bot with the new options. /config to. Let's rerun it like this. And look, it's got the daily poll bot. That is correct. That looks nice. But if we go here, it's the weird format. Because it formats it in embeds and text, but doesn't format it here. Which is why we need the name rather than that block of stuff. So let's cancel so I don't corrupt any data, but it shouldn't be corrupted. Shouldn't. Don't quote me on that. Let's just double check that it is saving the right values. Add option, the value is the role ID, so it should actually save the right value. And then yeah, the only thing that we need to do, we need to get like the order of everything. So how might we do that? Well, we have a good old Google. Yeah, Google. I'm not a JavaScript expert or a Discord.js expert either. So let's literally just look up discord.js. Get roles in order. So get role, that doesn't really work. And none of these. Get roles in order code, sure. Find R to role ID equal role ID. Okay. That doesn't say anything. I don't know what that website is. It's weird. There's like weird sketchy websites that just repost things, which is like weird. I don't know. Let's quote order so it knows that I'm looking for order. Role positions. Perfect. I'm trying to create roles in my server in a certain order, but every time I run the command, they're all wrong. Yep. Interesting that it gives that output, considering the roles are indexed. But please note that the roles are indexed based on the @everyone role. So this is index 0, and then it's 1, 2, 3. Is there an index option in the roles? Does role have an index? Role. Is there an index? Raw position, maybe? The raw position of the role from the API. Maybe? The position of the role in the role manager. Maybe? I mean, we don't have the role manager anymore. Or we do. This is just the role. We have the role. And this references the role manager. Dot position. Okay, let's try something. So we have a dot position thing in the role thing. You know, I'm using very high vocabulary here. So this thing goes into this thing and it does this thing, all right? How do I is it description? I think it's description. I wanted to do roles I.position. Just see if the numbers are correct. Let's see if description is even a value. I don't even know if that's a thing that exists in roles, but let's see. Let's go to Discord /config. No, it's not. Definitely is not. Let's go back. Let's actually just go back to Opera. Let's look it up because we have the power. Let's just duplicate this so we don't lose that spot. Let's go to select menu, message select menu, add options, option data, description, string. Really? So I did get it right. It's description. But looking at the code description, position. Does it have to be a two-string, maybe? Maybe it's just passing in the number and it's getting confused. It's thinking, oh, you can't set the description as a number. What are you, crazy? No, I want it to set to a string of that number, okay? Simple math. Discord. I say Discord a lot. Config, let's see if that works. It does, okay. And let's see if these options are correct. Community, everyone votes, Twitch TV. Community, everyone votes, Twitch.tv, cool. So we just have to order it based on the position before we even use it in here. Because it's just, you know, a random, completely random order. I don't know why it's in this order. And then everyone is 0. So we know we could get an order. And for the purpose of this bot, since we're pinging a role, this is a role ping. So I assume the role wouldn't be used for anything else. So it's probably going to be at the bottom of the list, which means it should be like 0, 1, 2, 3 instead of like showing all the moderator roles for no reason. It's like, yeah, let me ping all my moderators when a poll sends. Don't do that. Let's see if we can order it by the position. So, see what we can do. So we have our roles. We need to order it. I think there is a command to do that. I think it's like filter. Filter. And this does a function that accepts up to 3 arguments. The filter method calls the function for each element in the array and then returns the elements of an array that meet the condition specified in a callback function. Actually, no, I don't think it's... No, it's sort. Yeah, sort is a comparison thing. So, if you're sorting it by this, then it does yada yada. So, let's see. Function. We have A and B. And then we have... that. How do you do a function again? It's just this. So, function AB. We want to return if A dot position is less than B dot position. I don't know which order this will be in. This might be decreasing or increasing order. I have no clue what A and B are, so let's just try it. But that should sort it by position, which we then can use in Discord, of course. Let's see. Roll ping. Boom. Did not sort it whatsoever. Nice. I wonder why it didn't. Let's see. What did it actually return? It returns that, I think because sort's expecting this. Maybe. Sorts an array in place. This method mutates the array and returns a reference to the same array. Like it's doing a weird thing where it's like an arrow and then A minus B. Which it doesn't say what the result is, but you know what, sure. Let's not do a function, let's do whatever they're doing. Let's try A dot position with that arrow. B dot position. See if that does it. So config to didn't do anything either. Don't know why it wants to be so pushy. We're getting an array of values, and we want to sort those values. The values have the position in it, which we can confirm that is a number. But it doesn't sort it. Let's see some examples. Let's see, JavaScript array sort. let's see what they do. So they're sorting an array. The default sort just, I mean, can we just do the default sort? Well, no, we can't because it's an array of roles and we need the positions in those roles. So we have to make our own. So what are they doing? Dot sort function AB, return A minus B. Why A minus B? A minus B. What? Arrow function expressions? Okay, that's what that's called. With even shorter syntax, yo. That's actually good to know. Arrow, this is an arrow function. Apparently that just makes it look nicer. Cool. That's why I like JavaScript. It has things that just make things shorter. That makes it beautiful. But I think it returns an index rather than... Well, they're doing minus. You know what, let's just try minus. Because they're doing the same exact thing where they have objects and they're trying to get the value in those objects. This is exactly what we're actually trying to do. Like, exactly. So, let's just use that. Let's do a minus instead of a less than. For whatever reason, let's go. Let's see if that works. /config to... Boom, wow. It's in order now. So we have @everyone at the top. If you're, you know, masochist and want to ping @everyone for every single poll, you could do that. Look at that. At everyone. That's weird. That is a role ping, though. That's an interesting way to format a role ping. Because it's doing this format, but it's using the guild ID. If you didn't know, actually, you can copy your guild ID like that. And if you ping the guild ID, I think it's just @everyone? Or at least I thought it was. Or sorry, the guild ID role. It actually just pings an @everyone role, but it actually didn't. So you're noticing this should be @everyone. I am, of course, involved in @everyone. I should be included, but it actually doesn't include that. So what I'm thinking is that the @everyone role needs a special value. Because right now it's the guild ID, and that's doing a weird, wacky thing with it. So we need to do the non-weird, wacky thing with it by making sure it's the right value. So if it's the first value, which should be 0, then we should have a different thing. But in the interest of adding multiple pages in the future, like if I were to start this from 25 and have a button that says, here, click this button to have another list. If it was like roles 0, then it'd be a weird, wacky, it'd be even wackier, you know? So let's not do that, but let's check the value before we pass it in. So if the ID equals the interaction.guild.id, which would be the @everyone role, which actually isn't pinging @everyone, then how do you ping @everyone again? Is it just 0? Let's do some experimenting. Is it just @0? No. Is it @role 0? No. What in the world is @everyone then? I forget. @everyone. I mean, that pinged @everyone, aka me and the bot, but @everyone. \, put in a code block. I don't know. I think it literally is just that text. Because if you ping a role, say you ping this role, if you do a backslash, it returns that. However, for @everyone, it's special. It does that. So, we're gonna have to refactor some stuff because right now it just takes the role ID and it sticks it between this part and that part. But for @everyone, that doesn't work like that. So we need to double check if it is an @everyone. So let's set the role to something. It is a string, so it could just be everyone. Or I could just remove the everyone value outright, but that'd be kind of dumb. So if it is the role ID, then set the ID to everyone. Or we could just check when we're doing the time loop. But then again, it's going to be doing weird stuff again. So you know what? For now, let's just do the role ID. In this case, it will be the guild ID. The role ID for @everyone is the guild ID. Which doesn't work at the same time, but whatever. Assuming Discord doesn't remove it as well. So, instead of this placeholder, we're still gonna have to get that role as well. Great. We have to get that role name, and then we'll also have to get the everyone name. But in time loop, we have a thing to ping the current person, which is actually in poll handler, which is actually down here. It's down here. Role ping. Let role ping equal role ID and this. So if it exists, it does that. Otherwise, it's a blank string. But we need a third option. If it exists and server data dot server ID, or I guess just if it equals that, then it'll do this string. Else it'll do that. Maybe. We might have to do some parentheses here. I don't know which order these ands and ors are going to go in. What happened to my music, by the way? It's been quiet. Video paused. Continue watching? Yes. Okay, YouTube. Acting like Netflix out here. All right. Come on. How dare you, YouTube? It was just my voice for like 10 minutes. I didn't notice. So parentheses. So if this role ID exists, then it'll do this. Otherwise, it'll do a blank string. If the role ID exists, then it'll check if it's the server ID. If it is, then it will do an @everyone. Otherwise, it'll just do a regular role ID thing. Save that. And we also have to change it in config as well. So we basically have to kind of copy paste that. Specifically for this part. So if role ID, let's literally just copy and paste it. I wasn't planning to actually copy and paste it, but that's actually a lot easier. Copy paste all of that. Role ping. And then instead of blank, it'll be none. It'll be the role ping and then @everyone here. But here we go. Oh, you're playing Siege while listening to my voice. Thank you. But I hope you have a good night, bruh. And thank you for stopping by. Role ID, it'll just be @everyone instead. And that might ping. It might. Let's actually see if it will. save, run some code, open some Discord, /config to, let's get at everyone, and it actually does format as a ping. So if we actually changed it again and be like, you know what, actually I want community role pinged, they'll do community, be like, okay, I want this role pinged, dev, and it has the color, it's nice, and wow. One thing I am noticing though, we don't have a none option. So once you change it to a role, you can't actually change it away from a role. To no role, I mean. So we're gonna have to address that. We're gonna have to have the first option be none, just so they actually have the option to change it to nothing. So let's do that real quick. Go do Discord. Sorry, not even I keep saying that. We're not going to Discord, we're going to the code. So we just need to make role ID not exist if it's the none option. Also, have this be 0 to 24. We want to add the option none before we're actually doing any of this rule stuff. So the label would be none with a capital N. Description, we don't actually need a description anymore. And the value would be null. You can't have null as a value though. Or can you? I don't know, can you pass null as a value? What would it do? Ping select, it would set it to that value. But if there's no value there, then let's see. I think it'll error, and we might have to do an if statement down here. If it says none, then set it to null, but I think that should do the trick. And then for description, maybe just, I kind of like the position being there in the description. Just say position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. It would also be nice to have the image, but there's not really role images. I don't know. We can fancy it up later. But for now, let's see if null as a value actually works. So Discord /config. No, it does not. Okay. So we do need to add an extra if statement down there to check if it's null. So value, just set it to none. And then if, actually just set it to 0, honestly. So the value is 0. We go down here in ping select. We want to check if it's 0. So if it equals 0, then return null, otherwise return the value. That just, gets removes an if statement. It might complicate the code a bit, but you know what? Whatever. So that should then work. Of course, I always say that. You always have to. I should probably just test it before even considering that might work. 2. Wow, it works. None. I actually like that it doesn't have a description because it's shorter than the other ones. And that says the positions for all these ones. It could go up to 25, but if it does more than 25, it would be nice to have a button to have like a view for the other roles. Because a lot of servers have more than 25 roles, especially like that place over here. So might have to change that. But let's see, at everyone, pings at everyone. We set it to none. It's deleted role. I think it's still setting it to 0, I'll be honest. Shouldn't be the deleted roll if it's 0. There it is. I had to find it in my tabs on the bottom. So, where are we? Roll ping, 0, label none, value 0. So if the value is 0, we should do null, but I think this probably just returns null anyways. I think because this is a weird valuation, it's checking both of these, and then it's just returning this anyways. Because null in and of itself is false statement. So it's like, doesn't know what to do. So let's actually just do the if statement. If it equals 0, set it to null. Let's actually just do the opposite of that. If it doesn't equal 0, set it to the value. Otherwise, set it to null. And that should fix that issue. Let's see if it does. Discord, config. I didn't even type anything. I just pressed tab and it just did it. That's crazy. Okay. 2. Everyone. Cool, did that. None. Boom. Okay, cool. So we have that working. We have a bunch of roles here. And what else do we need to do? Community works there. Works with that. Everyone. Works with none. What do we have to do again? I swear there was another thing we had to do. Maybe there isn't. Is that it? I think we might be done. Maybe. Possibly. I have but a clue. Ping menu. Sets it to null. That all works. Adding an extra page. We should add an extra page. But to do that, the issue is that I would love to have it right next to our select right here, like right here, but we can't. It'd have to be in a third action row, which is yucky, but it is possible. But then it makes things difficult because right now every single thing has 2 rows, so I don't have to check for if one exists or not. If I were to do it like a third one with a next page button, then it would change. Where is the interaction? Here? No, it's not. Where in the world does it send the interaction? No. Page embed. Oh, it's right here. It waits a message component. It replies with the page embed and it replies with components. So if we had a button row 3, but passed it into here, one of the components would be null. Then it wouldn't work. Can you have null in an array? Like the last item in an array, would it count as a null item? Let's check that. This should error if it can't, see the button row. So let's do some testing. Let's see if that actually breaks it. Okay, it does. If it didn't, then I'd be able to easily do that. But it does, so that means that's not a feasible thing. We can't just add a button row 3 and expect it to handle a null value in it. So we could add extra things to do that, but I don't really want to do that at the moment, I'll be honest. Instead, save. Instead, I mean, the title of this stream is field testing. I was going to test it in the test server that we had. So, Discord, we have this server, my private Sucadius quarter. /config. Do we have a config? Cannot type of null. Oh wait, I'm still running the old bot, that's why. Okay, sorry. /config. So this server actually is set up. It's got all the values and stuff. /help. Looks like the poll was unable to send correctly in the hashtag polling corner. Please enable view channel and send permissions, and then use /setup. Okay, resend the poll. I'm unable to resend the poll because I lack the send messages permission in... I forgot a thing at the end there. Let's fix that real quick. Where would that be? Because I lack permissions in... Where? Where do you lack permissions in? Where? Okay. Lack permissions. I lack... What? It's not in here? No, it's... This is poll. This is not... Setup. Setup's right here. And the resend button's up here, I believe. Resend poll. And then it says... I'm unable to resend the poll because I need it in here. Forgot that little part at the end. So it identifies it here, but the issue was that when we were setting up the bot, it wouldn't work. Like, it wouldn't identify that it doesn't have the permissions in the first place, and it would say, oh, here's your poll, even though it didn't exist. So we need to check that. So to do that, we need to open the database for it and remove the server. So we have server data. This is our server, message ID 1. That indicates that there was an error sending the message. Just delete record. Get rid of that. Write changes. And then should be able to do /setup. Let me set up this channel. And then it says it was denied send message permissions in a split-second time frame. It's like half correct. It did error while sending the message, but it didn't check the permissions in the first place, because that's not what I need. I'm trying to disable the database. There it is. Because what it should do is it should check all the permissions before it sets up the channel. It is not doing that. It is thinking it's fine for some reason, even though it very obviously is not. So we have channel perms. This isn't erroring either. So it checks if it has this. If it doesn't have it, then it pushes a missing perms thing and it does whatever. So I'm gonna assume, let's just put a bunch of console.logs. Console.log, I'm gonna assume missing perms is just empty, because it's empty here and it would have to be greater than 0 for it to work. Then I also want to check what channel perms is. Make sure that is the same here. And it didn't error, so that means it does have the .has. So it should be checking this properly. But it's thinking that it does have it, or something like that. Let's see. So let's run the bot. Go to Discord. And I already removed the bot again. This channel. And let's see what the configs or command prompt says. Permissions bit field. And then an empty array. Okay. It's a bit field. Interesting, but permissions does have that object in it. I double checked before the stream as well. It should have an object. Let me open this again. Discord. Permissions. Permissions. So we get a permissions object. It's a bit field. It has. And we use has to use permission. Permission resolvable is a string. See permissions.flags. Permissions.flags, we do this, and it does all that. But it seems to return true, or seems to return false every single time. Which is odd. It also thinks that it's a string. It said it was a string, but it's also a flag. So does this just return view channel? I don't know. Let's see. And let's rerun the bot. I'm going to open the command prompt. I'm just going to do it off screen. /setup. I need to remove the bot from here so it reruns everything. /setup. There we go. This channel. What does it say? 1024N. What does that even mean? What does that mean? Okay. It's a bit field. It's returning a bit field. I don't know what to do with that though. I've never messed with a bit field. Checking if the bit field has this. Supposedly should have it. If it doesn't have it, then it doesn't do all that. Missing perms, dot push, that was all the same. It does push the correct thing into it. It thinks that it has every single permission, when it very obviously does not. Because if it did, it would, send all the stuff. But I know explicitly that it does not have send messages or add reactions, I believe. At least send messages. Because that is disabled for everything. So why do it do what it do? Well, that returned true. This returned true. Means this also returned true. All of these return true. Why are they returning true? Permission. We're getting the permissions for interaction.guild.me, which should be the bot member object for the channel. The permissions for that. And it should be checking all of that. I don't know. Bit fields are so weird. Honestly, I think I will be getting off now because I haven't eaten. I only ate like one thing today. So I'm going to cook something. I hope you have a good rest of your day, night, evening, afternoon, or morning. I might do this off stream because, this is weird bit field stuff I'm going to have to look into. But we do have a nice looking config command, which is super cool. I really like the config command. /config. I think it's running. Yeah, it is. Well, look at that. We have every single page working in here. We have the roles. We have a bunch of roles that you could select from. And then you can go through the pages. You could change any of these. I could change that to 2 hours, have it 6 p.m. I could change this to twitch.tv, have the ping. I could change this to administrator, have this ping administrator. I could cancel it all and nothing changes. So we have like a fully functional config command, which is insane. So that I'm very glad about that. That's like one of the main things that we had to do. So the only other things we have to do is to get the permission thing working and then to get the supporter commands working, which we already kind of sort of did. I just need to get it fully functional for supporters, which you can support me if you'd like on Ko-Fi. I just got tiers. They just go through, or they go towards the development and, you know, just running a VPS for this good old bot right here. But we're getting off now. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'm glad that you stopped by, and I very much appreciate it. Yeah, so I'll get off now, and I hope YouTube does not do that weird pausing thing. I've never seen it do that. I'll look into it. Thank you.